नमस्कार, सभी भक्तजनों का स्वागत है हमारे थर्सडे के जूम सत्संग मीटिंग में। हम लोग पतंजलि योग सूत्र का अध्ययन करते आ रहे हैं। अभी मैं मंगलाचरण से आरंभ करूंगा। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। नारायणं नमस्कृत्यं नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्। ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः। वसुदेवसुतं देवं कंसचाणूरमर्दनं देवकी परमानन्दं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुम्। मूकं करोति वाचालं पङ्गुलङ्घयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे परमानन्दमाधवम्। सच्चिदानन्दरूपाय विश्वोत्पत्त्यादिहेतवे तापत्रयविनाशाय श्रीकृष्णाय वयं नमः। तप्तकाञ्चन गौरङ्गी राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। ॐ सहनाववतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्ति। ॐ त्र्यम्बकं यजामहे सुगन्धिं पुष्टिवर्धनम् उर्वारुकमिव बन्धनान् मृत्योर्मुक्षीयमामृतात्। ॐ त्र्यम्बकं यजामहे सुगन्धिं पुष्टिवर्धनम् उर्वारुकमिव बन्धनान् मृत्योर्मुक्षीयमामृतात्। ॐ त्र्यम्बकं यजामहे सुगन्धिं पुष्टिवर्धनम् उर्वारुकमिव बन्धनान् मृत्योर्मुक्षीयमामृतात्। ॐ भूर्भुवस्वः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात्। ॐ भूर्भुवस्वः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात्। ॐ भूर्भुवस्वः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात्। ॐ सर्वे भवन्तु सुखिनः सर्वे सन्तु निरामयाः सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत्। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्ति। हरिः ओम्। So we have been running this group called Bhagavad Gita study group for a number of years. We started it in June 2012 at the location on Spears Road in Oakville at Dev Bhatia's office. So he invited us. He said, let's do Bhagavad Gita at my office study. So we started that group, just a few people, and then the group grew and grew. More and more people were interested in learning about this subject matter. And then Yatindra ji, one day I called him, Yatindra Sharma ji, and I said, why don't you join? He said, yeah, that's a good idea. He used to study that in a group setting in his house for a while, and that had stopped. So he said it's a good opportunity to start again. So he joined, and then he asked me, Deepak ji, can I ask Om Bhargav ji to join because he is interested? I said, well, that's very nice, Om Bhargav ji. I know him for a number of years at the temple. So sure, more the merrier. So Om ji started also coming there, and we were doing that for a while, couple of years, and then Dev Bhatia had to close his office from there and move his location to his house basically at that time, or another location. So Om ji kindly offered us his own place in Burlington, his house, and he said, why don't you just move the whole group to my place? Whoever wants to come, they are welcome, and we will have nice Gita study and refreshments afterwards. So he used to serve us tea, and we used to have nice things that we used to share with each other. We bring some food, and we were having good time there. And sadly, Om ji, the most senior one of us, he left us for the heavenly abode just a few days ago, and yesterday was the funeral. So it's a sad moment, but I expect he would want us to continue studying. And the mantras that I was just reading, we were just doing up to Om Sahana Vavatu at his house, and then one day he said, why don't you add 3 times Triambakam Yajamahe, Mahamrityunjay mantra, and also Om Bhurbhuvasvaha, Gayatri mantra, ending with Sarve Bhavantu. I said, yeah, that's a good idea, Omji. So we kept that in there, and then he said, oh, I want to do a Ram Stuti after that I used to do. So add that in. I said, okay, Omji. So he started doing that Ram Stuti after all that, and then in all our previous recordings you will find he was doing that, and now we are missing that Ram Stuti. But all we can say, Jai Shri Ram to Omji, and today is Ram Navami day, and it was this auspicious week of Navaratri when he passed away. So I'm sure these are supposed to be Swayam Siddh Mahurats for anything that happens in life. So even when passes away, and they pass away in these Mahurats, that's a fantastic time for the soul, the jiva, to move to a very, very good direction. So I'm hoping and praying that Omji will be in a nice place, maybe attain moksha. So with that, we will start our study of Patanjali Yoga Sutra. So we were studying Patanjali Yoga Sutra chapter 3 and Sutra number 40 we reached up to last week. So we will recap that sutra and continue from there. Sutra 40. Udan Jayal Jal Pankat Pankakata Kadish Vasang Utkantischa. By conquering the current called Udana, the yogi does not sink in water or in swamps, and he can walk on thorns. Wow. Yeah. I've seen some yogis actually do these things over there in India. They used to lie on a bed of thorns and nothing happened to them. So they must have done this Udan Kriya. So Swami Vivekananda ji says Udan is the name of the nerve current that governs the lungs and all the upper parts of the body, and when he is master of it, he becomes light in weight. He cannot sink in water. He can walk on thorns and sword blades, and stand in fire, and so on. #41 Sutra. Saman Jayat Prajwalanam. By the conquest of the current Saman, he is surrounded by blaze. Whenever he likes, light flashes from his body. Wow. Udan, Saman, Udan. So these are like prana vayus that we have, the kind of pranas in the body. Saman, Udan, Vayan, all these. They have different functions, but I never read about these effects from those that Maharshi Patanjali is mentioning. Number 42. Shrotra Sambandha Sanyamad Divyam Shrotram. By making some sanyam on the relation between the ear and the Akash comes divine hearing. Yeah. Akash, which we normally use the English word ether for, ether, or जैसे हम कहते हैं earth, water, fire, air and ether. So ether is Akash actually. There is the Akash, the ether, and the instrument, the ear. By making sanyam on them, the yogi gets divine hearing. He hears everything. Anything spoken or sounded miles away, he can hear. #43 Kaya Kashayo Sambandh Samyamal Laghu Tul Samaptescha Kashagamanam. By making sanyam on the relation between the Akash and the body, the yogi becomes light as cotton wool goes through the skies. This Akash is the material of this body. It is only Akash in a certain form that has become the body. If the yogi makes sanyam on this akash material of this body, it acquires lightness of akash and can go anywhere through the air, or more like through the ether. Number 44. Bahirkalpita vrittir mahavideha tatah prakasha varnakshayah. By making sanyam on the real modifications of the mind which are outside, called great disembodiedness, comes disappearance of the covering to light. The explanation: the mind in its foolishness thinks that it is working in this body. Why should I be bound by one system of nerves and put the ego only in one body? If the mind is omnipresent, there is no reason why I should. The yogi wants to feel the ego wherever he likes. When he has succeeded in that, all covering to light goes away, and all darkness and ignorance vanish. Everything appears to him to be full of knowledge. Yeah, this is little hard to understand, this one. By making sanyam on the real modifications of the mind which are outside, called great disembodiedness, comes disappearance of the covering to light. Bahir kalpita vrittir mahavideha. Yeah, I guess we will wait for Yatindra ji to come and provide his expertise on these kind of, which are not
Expert
understood straightforward.
explanation.
Yeah. And Yatindra ji told me that he will be back either first week or second week of April, as he gets his
Oh,
air airfare, because he went with one-way ticket, so he's trying to book a ticket to come back. Number 45. Sthul Swarup Sukshman Vayarth Vatva Sanyamad Madbhut Jaya. By making sanyam on the elements, beginning with the gross and ending with the superfine, comes mastery of the elements. Yeah. By making sanyam on the elements, beginning with the gross elements and ending with the superfine elements, comes mastery of the elements. The yogi make sanyam on the elements first on the gross and then on the finer states. This sanyam is taken up more by a sect of Buddhists. They take a lump of clay and make a sanyam on that, and gradually they begin to see the fine materials of which it is composed. And when they have known all the fine materials in it, they get power over that element. So, with all the elements, the yogi can conquer them all, or maybe modify them, or whatever with their mind. 46. ततो अणिमादि प्रादुर्भावः काय संपत तदर्मान भिघातश्च. From that comes minuteness and the rest of the powers, glorification of the body, and indestructibleness of the bodily qualities. This means that the yogi has attained the eight powers. He can make himself as light as a particle. He can make himself huge, as heavy as the earth, or as light as the air. He will rule everything he wants. He will conquer everything he wants. A lion will sit at his feet like a lamb, and all his desires be fulfilled at will. Wow. Number 47. Rupa Lavanya Bala Vajra Samhananatvani Kaya Sampata. The glorifications of the body are beauty, complexion, strength, adamantine hardness. The body becomes indestructible. Fire cannot injure it. Nothing can injure it. Nothing can destroy it until the yogi wishes. Breaking the rod of time, he lives in this universe with his body. In the Vedas it is written that for that man there is no more disease, death or pain. Wow. Amazing technology there. 48. Grahan Swarupasmitan Vayarth Vatva Samyamad Indriya Jaya. By making sanyama on the objectivity, knowledge and egoism of the organs. By gradation comes the conquest of the organs. In perception of external objects, the organs leave their place in the mind and go towards the object, that is followed by knowledge and egoism. When the yogi makes sanyama on these gradations, he conquers the organs. Take up anything that you see as or feel as a book, for instance, and first concentrate the mind on the thing itself, then on the knowledge that it is in the form of a book, and then the ego that sees the book. By that practice, all the organs will be conquered. Wow, okay. Yeah, I see that many times, like Yatendra ji keeps pointing out at this thing about, you watch this and then you try to figure out who is actually watching it. So I think this is a practice given here. There is a book and there is the meaning of the words in the book, and there is this knower of the meaning of the words of the book. So you have to see all of that separately but in oneness, and then you have a grasp over this kind of sutra. Number 49. Tato mano javitvam vikaran bhavah pradhana jayascha. From that comes glorified mind, power of the organs, independently of the body, and conquest of nature. Just by the conquest of the elements comes glorified body, so from the conquest of the mind will come glorified mind. Number 50. Sattva Purusha Shanyataksh Takhyati Matrasya Sarvabhavadhishthatritvam sarvagyatritvam cha. By making sanyama on the sattva, to him who has discriminated between the intellect and the purusha comes omnipresence and omniscience. When we have conquered nature and realized the difference between the purusha and nature, that the Purusha is indestructible, pure, and perfect. When the yogi has realized this, then comes omnipotence and omniscience. It's like you can be everywhere. 51. तद्वैराग्यादपि दोषबीजक्षये कैवल्यम्. By giving up even these comes the destruction of the very seed of evil. He attains Kaivalya. So now he is coming to the end part where all of the above, he says, you don't really need. It's just there for you to grasp and attain those powers and etc. But in the end, you don't really need it. What you need is Kavalyam. या कुछ कह रहे हैं सुरेंद्र जी?
At 350, there's a description, a para there. In the Sutra 3.41, above the development of Divya Shrotam, the divine ear, is mentioned. When Krishna shows his great form to Arjuna, he says, O Arjuna, now behold the entire creation, animate, inanimate, and whatever else you like to see, all at one place in my body. But you are not able to see me with your physical eye, therefore I give you Divya Chakshu, a divine eye, to see my majestic power of glory. This was Bhagavad Gita 11.78. And then he next para says, we can understand from this parallel that it is not only a matter of clairvoyance, clairaudience and clairvoyance, but also a subtle hearing and seeing. With the Divya Shrotam, one can hear the voice of the silence or the Anahata Nada, soundless sound, which the sages have said fills the whole universe. I thought it was nice. I just thought share this.
Okay. Yeah, your sound is still a little muffled. Can you see on your screen on the top left side? Does it say anything? Original sound or something?
I've enabled. Can you hear me any better?
Yes, now it's better.
I think I've got a bit of a throat as well. So
No, it's not the throat part. It's just the machine.
The volume.
Volume. Yeah, now it's okay.
Volume is fine. I mean, everything is fine on my same way.
Now it's okay.
I can hear now.
Maybe I'm talking from distance here. That could be a reason.
No, it's
just
fixed
push
now. You
push your volume up one notch.
It is all up. That's the best
yeah.
I can give.
Oh, it's right at the top? Okay, then.
Right at the top.
It's fine.
Yeah, it's
Sorry
okay
that,
now. It's working. Okay, so regarding this Kavalyam, by giving up even these comes the destruction of the very seed of evil. He attains Kavalya. He attains aloneness, independence. Then that man is free. When he gives up even the ideas of omnipotence and omniscience, there will be entire rejection of enjoyment of the temptations from celestial beings. When the yogi has seen all these wonderful powers and rejected them, he reaches the goal. What are all these powers? Simply manifestations. They are no better than dreams. Even omnipotence is a dream. It depends on the mind. So long as there is a mind, it can be understood, but the goal is beyond even the mind. That's a deep subject, you know. Yeah. Number 52. स्थान्युपन्नी मंत्रणे संय संयस्मयाकरणम पुनः अनिष्ट प्रसंगात. The yogi should not feel allured or flattered by the overtures of celestial beings for fear of evil again. There are other dangers too. Gods and other beings come to tempt the yogi. They do not want anyone to be perfectly free. They are jealous, just as we are, and worse than we sometimes. They are very much afraid of losing their places. Those yogis who do not reach perfection die and become gods. Leaving the direct road, they go into one of the side streets and get these powers. Then again, they have to be born, but he who is strong enough to withstand these temptations and go straight to the goal becomes free.
What does it mean?
That's a tough one.
It's a
It's a
tough one,
tough
yeah.
one. Yeah, as you remember when we were discussing Bhagavad Gita and other subjects, and uh, Jitendraji always brings us back into that fold where you have to see that there is nothing out there. It's just an imagination. It's just an imagination of mind. Mind is creating it. It's not really out there. So it's like a dream. It's like he's always corroborating our dream world with our real world. Is saying, okay, when you were dreaming, what was there? You did you dream of something? Well, you dreamt of something. You created it. Your
Well,
mind
is it the
created
sorry
it.
if I interrupt you, just pause you for a second, please.
Yeah.
I mean, it's totally contradicting this reincarnation part of it, because they become gods, and what's that for? I mean, I think as a human being, I'm doing much better as it is, without achieving any of this crap. I mean, I use the word crap respectfully, because it's not, there's not a kind of set way to do this thing. So the only thing is to experience nothingness. I guess that's what it is, if you can.
Yeah, I think Vinitji probably can say something
Sure.
about it. Unmute,
Yeah.
please. Unmute your Vinitji, unmute कर लीजिए. आवाज नहीं आ रही.
Can't
Unmute.
hear you.
Yeah, Surendraji is absolutely right. Sorry, I was on mute. Surendraji is absolutely right. I'll give you an analogy. If someone wants to know where is Oakville, so there are two ways of going about it. One is that you already know that you are in Oakville. You are in Oakville. That's it. It's a fact. The other is to take a flight to India, go there, go to various places, go to all the pilgrimages, go to Mecca, go everywhere, go to Jerusalem, come back, and then say, oh, here is Oakville. So this is the long path, and the easy path is not the easy. I wouldn't say that is also easy, but that's a less tedious path. But this is also a path. I mean, but for whoever it suits, it's a but
Yeah.
it's a long path. It's an arduous path, and somehow it doesn't appeal to me also in a way that believe in stretching the mind rather than twisting the body.
Isn't it something that one tries to achieve, that's when we say moksha, the person goes to some place and achieves the ultimate as a person whose soul traveled and went and got settled. Settled, we are told by these yogas and yogis and all the religious people that there is a place where all the good people go and there's a place where all the bad people go. Therefore, you should be good to go to that good place. So they just want to get you in your behavior to be a better person in this lifetime.
Yeah. But there is
Because-
another thing they tell you, the same yogis, they also tell you that once you reach that good place, okay, uh, you are not there forever.
Right, exactly.
Because
That's what I was
when the,
coming. When Surendra said reincarnation, you're going to go there and that soul is going to travel again
again, so
and
now,
travel somewhere else.
yeah, so now these are the real serious yogis now. They are saying, okay, now we gotta find a way of totally going over that, totally not coming back. So in that quest, they kept on searching, and then as the Vinitji studies Sankhya Yoga a lot, and so
Advaita.
does Yatindra
Advaita.
ji.
Sankhya is, there are two steps in Advaita. The first step is Sankhya and the second is Advaita. So,
Advaita. Yeah, Advaita.
so
Yeah.
but first you distinguish between Atma and the rest of the world, which is Sankhya. And then as Advaita, it collapses, the world collapses and it becomes one. That there is no such thing as the world, it's all Atma, nothing else. It's since the world is, it appears, it cannot appear to Atma, because anything which appears to Atma means Atma has a boundary and the world is separate from it. But the world is not separate from it. The world appears in Atma. So if it is in Atma, it is a part of Atma, and it is Atma, in fact. The whole world is in Atma. So that's why what the yogis are doing, they already are Atma. So they are going about a long, tedious route just to come back and find out they are the Atma. So why not discriminate, after perhaps meditation and the various upays which are there, by bhakti, by karma yoga, or by discrimination, if depending on the past life, if one has the calmness of mind to discriminate. So you realize that you are the Atma. So why go about it in a long way, to find out that you itself are, the whole world is that, in fact,
Hmm.
So it's a viewpoint.
Yeah.
It's the Sankhya viewpoint and it's the Advaita
Yeah.
viewpoint.
These are different
And it does make
viewpoints,
sense. Yeah, it's there. Yeah.
See, if I may share, my guru, Baba Muktananda, in his book, written this part, because when my wife passed away, I was reading a lot of his question and answers. And one thing he says, that at the end of your journey, of all these great beings will come and take you to Siddhaloka. And then, if you've not finished your journey, which most people don't, all right, that is a place where you can live virtually in the air. There's no food needed, nothing is needed. You will finish off there. That's I've got a, I could read the para, I don't know where it is, but I've read it many, many times after her death. So that's the faith I have. It's not wasted. And you will not be reborn till your will is. If you're filled with all the desires, they will manifest, as you said, mind-wise. That makes sense. And there's also a gravity. If you look at it, I'm talking purely from my mind. I don't have any direct experience as such to say, okay, there's a gravity. And if I am so caught up by house, by this and this, I will not rise. I will not go to higher realm, because that's such a power. Now, when you said about the freedom and lightness, I think that may be the thing that they're talking about, that the lesser you are attached at the end of your life, that magnet will not, because you're floating. And so these two things I keep in my mind. I mean, I trust my guru saying, don't worry, it's not wasted. Do it as much as you can. Follow the practices. And once you get there, then you won't need to come back, but you'll be able to finish your journey there. Now, that's Baba Muktananda. I just thought I'd
No,
share.
but that is accepting one person's viewpoint, saying that your soul is going to go this way and end up there and won't come back.
Well, I wouldn't call him a person. I would say he was a realized being, and you don't have to
Just
agree
like
with.
you and I.
No, I'm not going to go beyond this. Just one sentence. I don't want you to accept anything what I'm saying. All right. But
No.
But,
It's not a matter of accepting. It's a matter of
so
finding a balance.
let me finish, JG. Baba Muktananda is not surrender. He's a great being, and he's realized. Now, take my word as a statement. Now, whether he is or not, that's something I don't have to worry. I don't want to bring that. All I'm saying is he has experienced himself on this very life, and when he went, he's clearly stated this part of it in his books and so on. So I just shared with you with a good faith. But who's right or wrong? I'm not in a position. I trust that myself.
Yeah.
And he's not a person as.
Yeah, no,
I leave it that way.
if he wasn't able disciple, then
What's the
his
point?
guru Baba
Muktananda.
उनके गुरु जो थे ना नित्यानंदा,
Bhagwan Nityananda.
Bhagwan Nityananda wouldn't have accept him as his disciple
Yeah.
if he wasn't capable of it. So he saw potential in that young yogi, and he said, "Yeah, okay, I accept you. You become my disciple." And that guru Nityananda, you should read about that, Jayji. That guy was something else. Whatever Patanjali says here, that
He had it.
you can do this, you can do. He could do it. He could do it, and he was doing it casually, not even like showing off or anyway. He was just doing it for the necessity of it because people were bugging him, and he said, "Okay, you bugging me? I show you something." So he did that miracle or something, and people said, "Oh my God, he's a magician. He's got powers and all that stuff." Then people started understanding, "Oh no, he's a siddha." So he wasn't going around telling everybody, "I am a siddha, I'm siddha." Like nowadays, people, gurus are coming up like you turn a stone and there is a guru there.
Right.
In fact, he didn't want to see people at all. Sorry, Usha ji, I'm बोल
Bhagwan Nityananda didn't accept Baba Muktanand just like that.
Yeah.
He have to pass the exam. He gave him so many things that he can go through or no.
Okay.
And then in the end, he accepted that this is the one is my disciple.
Okay.
उनको पूजा करने के लिए कहा था, जबकि बाबा मुक्तानंदा को मैंगो बहुत अच्छा लगता था। उन्होंने कहा मैंगो के ट्री के नीचे बैठ के पाठ कर और मैंगो नहीं खाना। उनको बताने का मतलब यह है कि हाउ यू कंट्रोल योरसेल्फ, योर सेंसेस। When you do all these whatever I am saying it, do it, then I will accept you. भगवान कहते हैं ना, एग्जाम तो लेता है कि देखो ये दुख में घबराता है कि फिर मेरे को छोड़ के भाग जाता है। तो जो नहीं छोड़ता, जो भागता नहीं है, उसको भगवान एक्सेप्ट करते हैं, उसकी आवाज सुनते हैं। देयर इज नो डाउट। दुख तो आएंगे ही, पर दुखों को पार कैसे करना है उसकी शक्ति भी वही देगा जब उसका विश्वास होगा तो।
I guess the things we are used to get not being able to attain those things is basically dukkha, but to control the senses, the body, the mind, takes a lot of practice and hard work. But in the beginning we might feel like, oh, I'm like suffering, it seems like a suffering, but that's the practice of detachment, and that's why detachment word is everywhere in Bhagavad Gita, detachment. So we have to
Mhm.
do that to achieve that goal of uh, not staying uh, like too attached with material nature, and that is what detachment is, not attached with material nature, and then our own swarup, which is atma swarup, uh, that is felt by whoever we are as a jiva. Atma doesn't care, as Vinit ji say, Atma doesn't care, he's there.
No, that's in the
It has,
Upanishads. Basically, that's what the Upanishads say, that
yeah,
suffering will be there so long as duality is there. That means मैं
yes,
अलग हूँ and ईश्वर या consciousness कह लो, it is अलग. जब तक वो duality है, I'm not saying this is in the Upanishads,
yeah,
suffering will never end. I mean, you can try to sort of alleviate it by various means, and it will never end. So long as you don't realize who you are, that you are one with, there is no other thing in the world except Atma, nothing else. I mean, our own Jivatma and the real Atma is one. It's basically a projection of the Atma. The Jivatma has been projected by him. So
yes,
ultimately, once that realization comes, automatically there is nothing to, there is nothing to suffer about, because all this is one. So you don't desire anything, because you know that what you're desiring is you already are that.
yeah,
So desires go down. So ultimately, it boils down to discrimination, to discriminate who you are here.
Yes.
This is what Ramana Maharishi says, and what all the sages and all and what the Upanishads teach us, Gita is teaching us. Basically, it's one, that you realize who you are in essence. So it's basically the consciousness. He's playing, he's experiencing the world through you, and you are part of him, because anything which appears in consciousness cannot be separate from consciousness. It is consciousness. जो सब कुछ है, it's all consciousness, and it is consciousness. We are like a modem, एक modem है, and Atma, the real, I mean, the Purushottam जो है, he is using this body, this mechanism which he has created or he has projected, to experience what he has created. And everything what he has created is him. It is all part of him. So वो अपने आप को ही experience कर रहा है. So desires and all are meaningless when you know that who you are, what you desire. I mean, you're desiring yourself basically. So basically, it's Purushottam. He's desiring to experience himself, and he has created this whole magic show.
yeah.
और जिसमें जो we are the modems, or we are the virtual
But
cameras,
yeah, but
virtual
Surendra ji
reality
says that,
cameras,
well,
and
well,
he's
then if
experiencing
he's
it.
created,
Upanishads में
then
भी यही है कि
let
जो
me enjoy then.
what the eyes see, it is being seen by the Atma. What the ears hear, it is not. It is heard by the mind, but it goes back to the Atma. He is experiencing all what we are experiencing. So
On that note, if I
ultimately, it
may,
boils down to
sorry.
you eliminate yourself as an individual. You eliminate yourself. You are just a modem. You are just a modem for the Atma to operate.
Mhm.
Once that realization comes, there is suffering and all automatically go. Desires go away. Attachment goes away. Love doesn't go away. We should not mistake that attachment is indifference. No, it is not indifference. So attachment will go away. Love will be there. Peace will be there, and and you
Well,
leave everything to God's will. You just become a what you can say, a pencil in his hand. So whatever he writes, you just write it. That's it.
ठीक
तो
है,
I've said
अपना
many
ठीक है.
वजूद
times
खत्म
that
कर देना है. Your own self should be eliminated, basically.
Good explanation.
we're talking about this
This is
business
what
of
the Upanishads. I'm not
suffering.
saying it. This is what
No, no, no.
I
Yeah, we
understood
got
from the
it. We
Upanishads.
got it.
And
Yeah, yeah,
जो सफरिंग है,
yeah.
कहते हैं ना कि हमें सफरिंग होगी. जैसे कल मैंने उनको ओम जी को देखा. I mean, what happens? So the only thing that comes back to me very clearly, that's not Om. That's it's that divine self is always free. I mean, it's got nothing to do with the body. But आप सारे कह रहे थे ना कि suffering है, and it's my own experience as well. The grace is like a lubricant. You may think I'm just giving a bad. I still have to go through it, but it facilitates you, give you enough courage to go through it. So life की जो journey है, there's no shortcut. I mean, you can, Baba had heart problem. I mean, the point I'm making to you, suffering is a part of life, and as well as joy. But yeah, कि state कैसी है? How you can take it?
Suffering
मैं
will never,
dentist के
it
पास
will
बैठा
never end.
था.
Yeah, suffering will never end. It's how you
Never
take
end,
it.
no.
Exactly, you hit the nail. Suffering will never end, but it's
Never end.
how it will not affect you. How it affects you, basically.
Exactly. तो कल मैं ना अपने डेंटिस्ट के पास गया. I don't want to waste your time, but these are real life experience. So it's nothing. It's quite a problem. You know, you got to hold the water sucker on one side, and they're doing all kind of cleaning. It's a little. It's hard on your breathing. So for a minute I was sort of resisting. Then I closed my eyes as we were lying down there, and I thought of Bade Baba, Bhagwan Nityananda, and suddenly I forgot all about it. That anything is happening to my mind. It's how you react. And when you get to a place, makes it very easy. Anyway, let's finish that.
ठीक है. Good discussion. So we come to number 53. क्षण tat kramayoho संयमाद विवेक jam jnanam. By making sanyam on a particle of time and its multiples comes discrimination. How are we to avoid all these things, these devas and heavens and powers? By discrimination, by knowing good from evil. Therefore, a sanyama is given by which the power of discrimination can be strengthened. This is by making sanyama on a particle of time. Wow. Okay. 54. जाति लक्षण देशैर न्यता अन्वच्छेदात तुल्य योस्ततः प्रतिपत्ति. Those which cannot be differentiated by species, sign and place, even they will be discriminated by the above sanyama. The misery that we suffer comes from ignorance, from non-discrimination between the real and the unreal. We all take the bad for the good, the dream for the reality. Soul is the only reality, and we have forgotten it. Body is an unreal dream, and we think we are all bodies. This non-discrimination is the cause of misery, and it is caused by ignorance. When discrimination comes, it brings strength, and then alone can we avoid all these various ideas of body, heavens, and gods and devas. This ignorance arises through differentiating by species, sign, and place. For instance, take a cow. The cow is differentiated from the dog as species. Even with the cows alone, how do we make the distinction between one cow and another? By signs. If two objects are exactly similar, they can be distinguished if they are in different places. When objects are so mixed up that even these differentiation will not help us, the power of discrimination acquired by the above mentioned practice will give us the ability to distinguish them. The highest philosophy of the yogi is based upon this fact that the Purusha is pure and perfect and is the only simple that exists in this universe. The body and mind are compounds, and yet we are ever identifying ourselves with them. That is the great mistake, that the distinction has been lost. When this power of discrimination has been attained, man sees that everything in this world, mental and physical, is a compound and as such cannot be the Purusha. That's pretty clear. Number 55. Time हो गया 406. तारकम सर्व विषयम सर्वथा विषयम अक्रमम चेति विवेकजम ज्ञानम. The saving knowledge is that knowledge of discrimination which covers all objects, all means. Saving because the knowledge takes the yogi across the ocean of birth and death. The whole of Prakriti in all its states, subtle and gross, is within the grasp of this knowledge. There is no succession in perfection by this knowledge. It takes in all things simultaneously at a glance. Okay. 56. Sattva Purushayoho Shuddhi Samye Kavalyam Iti. By the similarity of purity between the Sattva and the Purusha comes Kaivalya.
Kaivalya means what?
Kaivalya means basically Advait, meaning there is no two, just one, only. When the soul realizes that it depends on nothing in the universe, from gods to the lowest atom, that is called Kaivalya, isolation and perfection. It is attained when this mixture of purity and impurity called mind has been made as pure as the Purusha itself. Then the Sattva, the mind, reflects only the unqualified essence of purity, which is the Purusha.
Yeah, I mean, it could be also one-pointedness.
Yeah,
it's more than that.
One-pointedness of the mind.
The mind.
Yeah. Mind is the, as if the creation has thrust upon us this thing called mind, and and that mind has its qualities, which is always kind of unstable, going in all directions, doing all things, and there is a obvious reason for it, because then this material universe keeps in motion, then all the so-called objects and things in this universe, they are interacting with each other, and all the play is happening. So the play had to be to happen. That's why it was created, and it goes on. And out of that, if one of the jiva, which has this mind thrust upon them, they want to attain this kaivalya, then they have to work towards it. They have to bring the mind to that state where it feels that isolation and perfection, kaivalya.
Yeah, basically they have to stop the mind altogether. The mind has to be eliminated, and that is Kaivalya. Once the mind is not there,
Eliminated, yes.
Yeah, once
It's not possible to satisfy the mind.
But could you call it a stillness of the mind?
Kaivalya is a Turiya. I mean, the Turiya state is the same as Kaivalya, I believe. That's when the oneness with Brahman is realized. That's the Kaivalya, I would say. Isn't it? Is that correct, Deepakji? I think that would be.
What did you say?
Turiya stage is the same as Kaivalya is the same as Turiya, the fourth stage as they call it, or the seventh stage as they call it, you know.
Yeah, Turiya is same as Kaivalya. Turiya
So
stage.
some they call it the fourth stage, some call it the seventh stage, you know, like.
Yeah. So we have completed chapter 3. Yay!
Well done.
Jitendra ji
Very
will be
difficult
proud
chapter.
of us. Yes.
हाँ जी, नमस्कार दीपक जी।
नमस्कार जी। हाँ जी।
ये चैप्टर 3 अब शुरू से कर रहे हैं ये
नहीं, ये पतंजलि योग सूत्र कर रहे थे हम।
ओके ओके
तो
मैंने
पतंजलि
कहा
योग सूत्र का जो चैप्टर 3 हमने कंप्लीट कर लिया आज।
नहीं, हमारे पास तो नहीं है ना,
अच्छा
हमारे पास बुक नहीं है।
अच्छा, बुक
मुझे
नहीं
लगा ये दोबारा से हो रही है।
Actually, I don't know if you know, Saroji. He sent us, in the beginning, he sent Swami Vivekananda's as a line where you can open it and read at the same time as this.
या पीडीएफ वर्जन में मैंने सबको भेजा था। आपको नहीं मिला तो आपको फिर दोबारा से भेज दूंगा।
पता भी नहीं
एंड यू कैन
कैसे करना है, मुझे शायद भूल गया, मुझे नहीं अभी याद पड़ गया।
या इसीलिए फिर
बच्चों से पूछ लूंगी आएंगे तो।
या
मैंने इस पे किंडल पे डाउनलोड कर ली थी, तो फोन पे ही पढ़ता हूँ मैं। किंडल एप्लीकेशन है, तो ये फोन के ऊपर है।
किंडल
योग सूत्र ऑफ पतंजलि इज ऑन माय फोन।
पतंजलि योगा सूत्र ये वाला, ये लिखूं या
हाँ, पतंजलि योग सूत्र, मगर उन्होंने किंडल पे डाउनलोड किया था। अब किंडल आप पूछेंगे किंडल क्या चीज है? किंडल इज एन
ऐप होगी, किंडल भी ऐप है
या किंडल ऐप है, तो उसमें किताबें आपको मिल जाती हैं एंड यू गेट दैट एंड यू डाउनलोड दैट।
इट्स अ वेरी यूजफुल टूल। बड़ा मतलब सारे आपके स्क्रिप्चर्स जो है आपके सारे फोन पे आ जाते हैं। आप जब दिल करे आप बस खोल के पढ़ना शुरू कर दें और यू आर ऑलवेज कनेक्टेड, यू नो, एंड दैट्स द रियल कनेक्शन विद द फोन एक्चुअली, यू नो।
या और मैंने अगर किंडल नहीं यूज़ करना होता तो जैसे ये लिंक था, तो इसकी जो पीडीएफ है वो मैंने अपनी फाइल्स फोल्डर में सेव कर ली। तो मैं जब भी जाना होता मैं फाइल्स में जाता हूँ और इसको ओपन करता हूँ। और इसका फ़ायदा ये है कि मैंने जहाँ पर लास्ट टाइम छोड़ी थी ना, वहीं पे खुलती है वो, तो मुझे बार बार सर्च नहीं करना पड़ता। जैसे
इस पे भी वही है, सेम
है। वाओ, दैट्स गुड। या
really it's just a observation.
या
किंडल आपने कहा ना, बिंग पे भी हो जाता होगा।
किस पे?
बिंग पे। बिंग
इसके दो हैं ई रीडर्स, या तो कोबो पे कर सकते हैं, कोबो पे या किंडल पे। कोबो है जो KOBO
देखती हूँ।
या किंडल में तो मोस्टली जो आपने बुक्स बाय की होती हैं, राइट, वो वाली होती हैं। या
तो उसमें सारी मैंने डाउनलोड कर दी, उपनिषद, गीता, सारे जितने स्क्रिप्चर्स हैं, एवरीथिंग इज इन दैट वन प्लेस, यू नो। एक ही
बुक कैरी करने के लिए तो बहुत अच्छा है ना,
तो आपके साथ स्क्रिप्चर्स चलते हैं, आप जहाँ जाते हैं तो।
वेरी गुड। चलिए, तो हम लोग अब 4th चैप्टर में आ गए हैं और पतंजलि योगा सूत्र चैप्टर 4 कैवल्य पाद, इंडिपेंडेंस, ये इसका मीनिंग बताया उन्होंने।
ये जो कोबो ऑरा है वो वाला, हाँ जी, कोबो ऑरा है, ये है कौन?
आप किंडल कर दीजिए, एप्लीकेशन किंडल,
या फिर
ऐप स्टोर में जाके ना।
I just opened up what you sent it to me at that time. Yes. So Vivekananda ka jo
कर लूंगी थोड़ी देर में।
You have that?
Yeah, I opened it now here. Can you see? I don't know.
Okay. Can you send it to Saroj?
मैं ऐसे उसको मैं Jitendra ji se tha, I'd send you the link. And sure.
Yeah, send the link to Saroj Puri.
How about if I send it
to
to
me
you?
too. I
Yes.
don't see it with me.
Well, I'll
Kobo
send it
ya
to the
Kindle?
satsang people. Is that
Yeah,
okay?
send it to Satsang.
I'll
Everybody can
forward
get
that
it.
email.
Yeah.
एक तो कोबो का करना, दूसरा कैंडल का है
Email.
जी।
See, this
email
you have to
won't come
download it. That's it.
हाँ
So the
जी, हाँ
point, and it'll go into your download files, and then you can open that.
जी। और
Just this.
which chapter started? आपने तो सबने कर लिया होगा पहले ना, कोबो
जी।
एंड कैंडल।
नहीं, अभी आपको ना पीडीएफ फाइल भेज देंगे। वो पीडीएफ फाइल आप कौन सा फोन यूज करते हैं? आईफोन है या
ये हाँ जी, एप्पल का है,
एप्पल का
आईफोन।
है? तो उसमें ना आप फाइल
मेरे
फोल्डर
पास ये भी है,
सेव कर लेना।
कंप्यूटर भी है।
या
I'm just looking at your name there. I don't think you have your name with us in this.
नहीं, वो ईमेल में नहीं उनको आएगा लिस्ट में, बट अगर आपने भी ईमेल भेज दिया है।
मैं
नहीं,
भेजने
इस
लगा हूँ अभी। Just sending the
अच्छा,
email.
भेज रहे हैं।
आईपैड पे आ जाएगा? नहीं, वो
हाँ,
ठीक है।
आईपैड पे मैंने आईपैड पे डाला हुआ है। वो तो
हाँ
आपका
जी,
कनेक्टेड ही होता है, सारा फोन और
हाँ जी, हाँ
आईपैड
जी,
कनेक्टेड है। तो उसमें
हाँ जी,
जो
आईपैड।
फाइल फोल्डर है ना, फाइल्स फोल्डर, उसमें आप उसको सेव कर लेना। और एवरी टाइम यू ओपन द फाइल फोल्डर, देन यू जस्ट फाइंड दैट फाइल। और अगर आपने वो ओपन करके रखी है, उसको चेंज नहीं किया, वैसे के वैसे ही खुल जाती नेक्स्ट टाइम।
हाँ जी, ठीक है। आप लिंक भेजेंगे, मैं देख लूंगी।
या
थोड़ा
मैंने भी
टाइम
भेज दिया, but आपको नहीं
तुरंत।
मिलेगा. I think back to Deepak ji. I've sent it to everybody again. And जो जितेंद्र जी का आया था ना, वही भेजा है मैंने.
या
Got it.
You got it?
I got it.
So that's what
copy
it
link,
is.
and I'm just pasting it in Satsang as well as so एक kind of link जैसा आपको आ जाएगा।
हाँ जी, ठीक है। थैंक यू सो मच। हाँ जी,
लिंक आपको भेज दिया है, तो when you click on that you will get the book itself. Yeah, it goes to Hindu online.
हाँ जी, आ गया, लिंक आ गया।
Yeah.
It's amazing what you can do with this technology
Yes.
now, right?
Yes.
And here you were talking about siddhis. This is a siddhi.
This is a siddhi of its another
सिद्धि
kind.
भी इसी में है। सिद्धि भी इसी में है।
Well, I mean, think of it. Within a second, you got all
Yes.
this book. तो उसको
Yeah.
पहले
अपने भी
खरीदने के लिए जाओगे, पहले तो मिलेगी नहीं. Then
Yeah. नहीं तो पुराने टाइम में तो बस बुक है तो बोलते हैं कि अरे भाई आपको चाहिए, जाके बाजार में खरीद के लाओ, पैसे पे करो पहले, उसके बाद आपको बुक मिलेगी, फिर खोल के आप आराम से पढ़ो। या चलिए 419 हो गए। तो
if you like, we can do some few chanting if you like. I mean, अपने भजन कर सकते हैं.
या वो तो हम करेंगे ना।
Or you want to go more? It's up to you.
4:30 फिर बहुत ज़्यादा टाइम फिर बच जाता है हमारे पास ना।
This is
चलिए
about
एक दो इसके शुरू कर देते हैं।
ठीक है.
एक पहला शुरू कर देते हैं, चतुर्थ कैवल्यपाद।
हाँ.
सो इसमें फर्स्ट सूत्र जो है, जन्मौषधि मंत्र तपः समाधिजाः सिद्धयः। The siddhis, powers, are attained by birth. Chemical means, power of words, mortification of concentration. Sometimes a man is born with the siddhis, powers. Of course, from the exercise of powers he had in his previous births. In this birth, he is born as it were to enjoy the fruits of them. It is said of Kapila, the great father of the Sankhya philosophy, that he was a born Siddha, which means literally a man who has attained to success. The yogis claim that these powers can be gained by chemical means. All of you know that chemistry originally began as alchemy. Men went in search of the philosopher's stone and elixirs of life and so forth. In India, there was a sect called Rasayanas. Their idea was that ideality, knowledge, spirituality, and religion were all very right, but that the body was the only instrument by which to attain to all these. If the body broke now and then, it would take so much more time to attain to the goal. For instance, a man wants to practice yoga or wants to become spiritual. Before he has advanced very far, he dies. Then he takes another body and begins again, then dies, and so on. And in this way, much time will be lost in dying and in being born again. If the body could be made strong and perfect so that it would get rid of birth and death, we should have so much more time to become spiritual. So the Rasayanas say, first make the body very strong, and they claim that this body can be made immortal. The idea is that if the mind is manufacturing the body, and if it be true that each mind is only one particular outlet to that infinite energy, and that there is no limit to each particular outlet getting any amount of power from outside, why is it impossible that we should keep our bodies all the time? We shall have to manufacture all the bodies that we shall ever have. As soon as this body dies, we shall have to manufacture another. If we can do that, why cannot we do it just here and know without getting out? The theory is perfectly correct. If it is possible that we live after death and make other bodies, why is it impossible that we should have the power of making bodies here without entirely dissolving this body, simply changing it continually? They also thought that in mercury and in sulfur was hidden the most wonderful power, and that by certain preparations of these, a man could keep the body as long as he liked. Others believed that certain drugs could bring powers such as flying through the air, etc. Many of the most wonderful medicines of the present day we owe to the Rasayanas. Notably, the use of metals in medicine. Certain sects of yogis claim that many of their principal teachers are still living in their old bodies. Patanjali, the great authority on yoga, does not deny this. The power of words. There are certain sacred words called mantrams, which have power, when repeated under proper conditions, to produce these extraordinary powers. We are living in the midst of such a mass of miracles day and night that we do not think anything of them. There is no limit to man's power, the power of words and the power of mind. Mortification. You will find that in every religion, mortifications and asceticisms have been practiced. In these religious conceptions, the Hindus always go to the extremes. You will find men standing with their hands up in their all their lives until their hands wither and die. Men sleep standing day and night until their feet swell, and if they live, the legs become so stiff in this position that they can no more bend them, but have to stand all their lives. I once saw a man who had raised his hands in this way, and I asked him how it felt when he did it first. He said it was awful torture. It was such a torture that he had to go to a river and put himself in water, and that allayed the pain for a little. After a month, he did not suffer much. Through such practices, powers, siddhis can be attained. Concentration. The concentration is samadhi, and that is yoga proper. That is the principal theme of this science, and it is the highest means. The preceding ones are only secondary, and we cannot attain to the highest through them. Samadhi is the means through which we can gain anything and everything mental, moral, or spiritual. Yeah, let's reflect on this, and next week we will come back to Patanjali Yoga Sutra, 4th chapter, which is called Kaivalyapad, independence, and we will come back to Sutra number 2 next week. So यहीं पर आज पतंजलि योग सूत्र के अध्ययन को हम विराम देते हैं. अब कुछ भजन वगैरह कर लेंगे और उसके पश्चात 10 मिनट्स मेडिटेशन जैसे हम करते हैं वो कर लेंगे. किसी ने भी कोई भजन तैयार किया हो तो प्लीज़ सुनाइए, गाइए, और या मंत्रास कोई हो या कोई चांट हो जो आप लाइक करते हैं. सुरेंद्र जी, you can also do a chant if you like. आज रामनवमी है तो मैं वो भजन ढूंढ रहा हूँ जो ओम जी का प्रिय भजन है, जो मुझे ऑलवेज कहते हैं कि दीपक जी ये भजन सुनाइए, जो सुनाइए राम जी का भजन. तो फिर तू दयालु दीन हो ढूंढ रहा हूँ, तक होगा गुणगान करिए.
I can do a couple of minutes, Jai Ram, Shri Ram.
हाँ जी.
और ये उसका गाया हुआ ना, अनूप जलोटा का है ये.
नहीं, उस जैसा नहीं. ये हमारे भजन करते हैं. उषा will know that.
अच्छा, उसे ही बता रही.
जय राम श्री राम, जय जय राम. श्री राम जय 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 राम, जय जय राम. Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram Om. 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 सद्गुरुनाथ महाराज की जय.
जय. बहुत अच्छा मंत्र किया. और कोई करेंगे? ईशा जी आप करेंगे कोई?
Thank you very much.
Yeah, you liked it?
माता की आरती सुनाऊंगी. आज माता का लास्ट डे है.
They
और
named me after him.
Yeah.
हाँ जी.
हाँ जी.
मेरे को 1 मिनट दीजिए, मैं बुक लेके आती हूँ अपनी माता
अच्छा
की आरती करने के लिए.
अच्छा जी, ठीक है, ले आइए.
मैं लॉर्ड शिवा का वो बोल लूं तब
हाँ
तक
जी, हाँ
मंत्र.
जी, बोलिए सरोज जी.
हाँ जी. ओम त्र्यंबकम यजामहे सुगंधि पुष्टि वर्धनम उर्वारुकमिव बंधनात् मृत्युमुक्षीयमामृतात्. ओम त्र्यंबकम यजामहे सुगंधि पुष्टि वर्धनम उर्वारुकमिव बंधनात् मृत्युमुक्षीयमामृतात्. ओम त्र्यंबकम यजामहे सुगंधि पुष्टि वर्धनम उर्वारुकमिव बंधनात् मृत्युमुक्षीयमामृतात्. ओम त्र्यंबकम यजामहे सुगंधि पुष्टि वर्धनम उर्वारुकमिव बंधनान् मृत्युमुक्षीयमामृतात्. ओम त्र्यंबकम यजामहे सुगंधि पुष्टि वर्धनम उर्वारुकमिव बंधनान् मृत्युमुक्षीयमामृतात्. ओम त्र्यंबकम यजामहे सुगंधि पुष्टि वर्धनम उर्वारुकमिव बंधनान् मृत्युमुक्षीयमामृतात्. ओम त्र्यंबकम यजामहे सुगंधि पुष्टि वर्धनम उर्वारुकमिव बंधनान् मृत्युमुक्षीयमामृतात्. ओम त्र्यंबकम यजामहे सुगंधि पुष्टि वर्धनम उर्वारुकमिव बंधनान् मृत्युमुक्षीयमामृतात्. ओम ओम नमो शिवाय. ओम नमो शिवाय. ओम नमो शिवाय. ओम नमो शिवाय.
बहुत अच्छा. उषा जी आ गई हैं.
थैंक यू.
2 मिनट के लिए मैं माँ की चैंटिंग करूंगी.
हाँ जी.
आप भी सब कर सकते हैं.
हाँ जी.
और माता की आरती करूंगी.
या
ठीक है.
हम या हमने अगर
नहीं आज
चांटिंग
करते हैं
करनी है,
बराबर आज.
हमने
हाँ
अगर
जी.
पीछे चांटिंग करनी है तो अपना म्यूट कर लेंगे, नहीं तो फिर आवाज़ उनके साथ मिक्सअप हो जाएगी. ठीक है. या
हाँ, आप पहले मैं चैंटिंग करूंगी, फिर मैं माता की आरती करूंगी.
ठीक है.
ठीक है.
तो हमने कब कब म्यूट रहना है?
हाँ, जैसे अभी म्यूट कर लेना है,
अभी
जैसे
आप
एक लाइन
कर
वो
लें।
बोलेंगी तो एक लाइन हमने उनके पीछे बोलना है, वो भी बोलती रहेंगी, बट उनको सुनेगा, बट हम लोग पीछे बोल सकते हैं अपना। बट
बिल्कुल बिल्कुल।
ठीक है, पर अपना हमने म्यूट कर लेना ताकि आवाज़ मिक्स ना हो जाए, नहीं तो उनको फिर मिक्सअप हो जाए ना। चलिए।
प्रथम करूं गुरु वंदना, फिर मैं मनाम गणेश, सुमरा माता शारदा, मेरे कंठ करो परवेश। जय जय मां, जय जय मां। मैं अभी चैंटिंग करती हूँ तो आप भी कर सकते हैं। 2 मिनट के लिए करूंगी, बाकी को सबको भी टाइम मिल सके कुछ सुनाने का।
कब
काली दुर्गे नमो नमः, 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 काली दुर्गे नमो नमः। मैं अब आपको आरती सुनाती हूँ माता की। आरती जग जननी मैं तेरी गाऊं, आरती जग जननी मैं तेरी गाऊं, तुम बिन कौन सुने वरदाती, तुम बिन कौन सुने वरदाती, किसको जाकर विनय सुनाऊं, आरती जग जननी मैं तेरी गाऊं, असुरों ने देवों को सताया, तुमने रूप धरा महामाया, उसी रूप के दर्शन चाहूं, आरती जग जननी मैं तेरी गाऊं, रक्त बीज मधु कैटभ मारे, अपने भक्तों के काज सवारे, मैं भी तेरा दास कहूँ, आरती जग जननी मैं तेरी गाऊं, तुम बिन कौन सुने वरदाती, किसको जाके विनय सुनाऊं, आरती जग जननी मैं तेरी गाऊं, आरती तेरी करूं वरदाती, हृदय का दीपक नैनों की बाती, निश दिन प्रेम की जोत जगाऊं, आरती जग जननी मैं तेरी गाऊं, ध्यानु भक्त तुम्हारा यश गाया, जिसने ध्याया माता फल पाया, मैं भी दर तेरे शीस झुकाऊं, आरती जग जननी मैं तेरी गाऊं, आरती जग जननी मैं तेरी गाऊं। हृदय का दीपक नैनों की बाती, निस दिन प्रेम की जोत जगाऊं। उषा सभी सुख संपत्ति पावे, मैं यह चरण कमल रज चाहूं। आरती जग जननी मैं तेरी गाऊं, आरती जग जननी मैं तेरी गाऊं। तुम बिन कौन सुने वरदाती, किसको जाकर विनय सुनाऊं। आरती जग जननी मैं तेरी गाऊं। जय माता दी।
जय माता दी। बहुत अच्छा भजन गाया। चलिए तो एक भजन मैं कर लेता हूँ। तू दयालु दीन हो। तू दयालु दीन हो, तू दयालु दीन हो। तू दानी हो भिखारी, तू दयालु दीन हो। तू दानी हो भिखारी, हो प्रसिद्ध पात की। तू पाप पुंज हारी, तू दयालु दीन हो। नाथ तू अनाथ को, नाथ तू अनाथ को, अनाथ कौन मोसो। नाथ तू अनाथ को, अनाथ कौन मोसो। मो समान आरत नहीं, मो समान आरत नहीं। आरती हर तो सो, तू दयालु दीन हो। ब्रह्म तू हो जीव तू, ब्रह्म तू हो जीव तू है। ठाकुर हो चेरो, ब्रह्म तू हो जीव तू है। ठाकुर हो चेरो, तात मात गुरु सखा। तात मात गुरु सखा, सब विधि हितु मेरो। तू दयालु दी The words of this song is also beautiful. It's in Sanskrit, not Sanskrit, kind of local language of India. The meaning is, you are merciful and I am destitute. You grant wishes and I am the seeker. I am a well-known fallen one and you absolve away the heaps of sin. You protect the orphans and there is no orphan like me. Hence protect me, please. There is no pain absolver like you and I am in immense pain. Hence absolve my pain. You are the Brahma and I am a destitute living being. You are the preceptor and I am a disciple. You are for my benefit in each way as father, mother, preceptor or friend. And the last one that I am going to sing right now, translation is, my relations with you are infinite since you are present in everything. So assume the one you like. At least this way Tulsidas will get refuge in your dual feet. Tohi mohi nate anek, tohi mohi nate anek, मानिए जो भावे, तो ही मोहि नाते अनेक, मानिए जो भावे, ज्यों त्यों तुलसी कृपालु, ज्यों त्यों तुलसी कृपालु, शरण शरण आवे, तू दयालु दीन हो, तू दानी हो भिखारी, हो प्रसिद्ध पात की, तू पाप कुंज हारी, तू दयालु दीन हो, तू दयालु दीन हो, तू दयालु दीन हो. चलिए, तो हम लोग मेडिटेशन 10 मिनट के लिए अपना आसन तैयार कर लेंगे. तो आज का सत्संग हमारा बहुत अच्छा हो गया. तो अभी रिकॉर्डिंग को यहीं पर हम बंद करेंगे और इसके पश्चात 10 मिनट के लिए जैसे मैं मंत्र बोलूँगा उसके बाद टाइमर लगा दूँगा और मेडिटेशन शुरू करेंगे. जय श्री राम.